Almost 2 decades ago, a landmark film was released upon the world, and a cultural touchstone was born. Now, the brilliant and talented players of that cinematic icon have returned to recapture the magic and inspire audiences with a new chapter in one of film's most beloved sagas.
Ding, 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 ding. Very good.
I'm not a big sequel guy. You know, I've never done a lot of sequels, but these characters just stayed.
When we made the first one, we thought 14-year-old boys would be impressed, but who knew that the demographic would be from 8 to 80, you know?
Whenever I work on a movie, I always think like, oh yeah, it's a great movie, it's gonna be really good. For some reason, I've never been able to imagine it in the future as being something that's gonna make money and be huge.
I grew up with Dumb and Dumber.
I grew up with that movie.
I don't know one person who hasn't seen Dumb and Dumber.
It brings back memories.
When it was a success, I was kind of taken by surprise.
The bad hair, the bad car, bad teeth, I think.
Yes.
You could have played Dumb and Dumber in the 30s, and people would have laughed. They would have got the jokes because it's so basic.
All the movements it makes when it's a bit crazy, you know?
I catch myself saying quotes from the original subconsciously without even referencing the movie. It just comes out naturally.
I like it a lot.
I can totally rock the Lloyd look.
What's the most annoying sound you've ever heard?
I like it a lot.
I think that's the beauty of this movie. It's invaded everyone's home.
It was shown an awful lot of times on TV, on TBS and TNT, so a whole generation of kids kind of grew up watching it over and over.
It is on TV all the time because it was so great.
Now those kids are not kids anymore. They're a little bit older, and they have kids.
20 years later, you can watch it, you can show your kids it, and they're gonna laugh as much as you are.
It's cool to see a new generation of kids getting into Harry and Lloyd, and these legends are able to continue. It's great.
Whoa! Oh my God!
I was just meeting a family today on the set.
Whoa! I can't even see you. You're like a blur.
The little boy, he had just seen Dumb and Dumber a couple of months ago, and his parents were total fans of Dumb and Dumber. So it keeps reintroducing itself to new generations of people. And that's just a real thrill.
Hey, Marvin.
Let's do this.
We weren't the funniest guys growing up by any means, but we knew funny and we understand funny. Our friends are funny and people around us were funny. We weren't afraid to, go for the joke.
You can't really take your eyes off Dumb and Dumber once you start watching it. Oh. It's like, really? Wow. I can't believe this stuff.
There was an innocence to Harry and Lloyd. It was never mean. It was never violent unless it was to each other, physically. Boom. We were just stupid. There's a joy in watching that.
These guys are alive. As dumb as they are, they have joy in their hearts, and that's why it's so fun.
Well, you're really good at that, Lloyd. I learned from the best. Thanks, Mom.
After the first movie, I got a call from Dustin Hoffman, who said, I think that relationship is one of the most real buddy comedies I've ever seen. The character relationship is so real. And I said, really? He goes, yeah. He said he really believed that they had known each other their whole lives.
When we finished Dumb and Dumber, obviously people said, well, you're gonna do a sequel, and it came up a lot of times.
It really was meant to happen 20 years later, and if it happened any earlier, I think it wouldn't be as good, so it just all sort of worked out the way it's supposed to work out.
When we started Dumb and Dumber 2, we didn't want to make a movie that was like Dumb and Dumber light. So we knew the bar was set high, and we took a long, long time working on that script.
I've been working on it for 18 months, 37 minutes, and 40 seconds. Like fine wine, like a pickle, like cheese, this movie had to wait for a certain amount of time to be just right. The one odd element about writing with Pete, he likes to drive across the country and write in a car. He likes the fact that when you're driving, you get into a sort of Zen state. So a lot of this movie was written driving across the country. I would sit in the passenger seat with a pillow on my lap, my laptop, and I'd literally be typing the movie as we were driving. Let me tell you, you can only do that for about 10 minutes before you get seriously car sick. I'd say, I'm gonna throw up. We've gotta stop for a few minutes.
Then when we were done and we felt like we had a really solid script, we sat down with some of the writers from The Family Guy, and we punched it up for about a week, and then we went back and we worked some more, and then we punched it up another week with different writers from Family Guy, and then we went and sat down with Jim Carrey for a week, and then punched it up again. We just kept pushing and pushing and pushing.
Fire in the hole!
How you doing, sugar tits?
Whoa, easy, Hooser.
That's good.
The Farrellys now know what's funny. They now know what works. And they guessed right a lot on the first one. But now they know.
That was a good one. Bird was great.
Funny is here, not here, not here. The timing, the back and forth, there it's funny.
Crap on toast.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You've got to just together find it right there. And in the process of doing that, you can find 3 or 4 other things that are funny as well.
I admit, it's thought-provoking.
And that's where it gets challenging and wonderfully complicated and fun. To be with somebody like Jim Carrey. What are you talking about?
Nothing. That's awesome!
Whose mind is everywhere,
Where do you put the coins in? There's a slot back here.
but still very precise and very 1, 2, and there's the joke.
Watching Jim and Jeff, we already knew their chemistry was fantastic.
The friendship's there off camera.
Something about marriage.
We like each other, and that translates when they roll film.
Have you ever had crabs?
Not this big.
It really is like going back in time. It's like time travel, this movie for me. It's very H.G. Wells. You are a frickin' genius, Lloyd. I mean, nobody else could have pulled that off.
Once they were in costume and the hair was done and we got through all that stuff, they kind of looked pretty much like they did 19 years ago.
The haircut, the tooth, the outfit.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was just rewind back straight to that time when I first saw the movie. It was uncanny. This time I'm seeing it live in front of me, and it was a great feeling.
All right, stop pulling. Hey.
Within 5 minutes of shooting, it felt like, oh yeah, there it is. That's the thing. It's back.
Day one has been a huge success.
The level of my hair is like the level of my excitement, which is very high.
If I remember correctly, on the first movie, the first day, Peter and Bobby said, we don't know what we're doing, so we're going to rely on all of you to help tell us what to do. And that instantly put everyone on their side.
Oh, hey. Hey, good to see you guys.
I've personally never been on a set like this where there's so much love and consideration from everyone, from crew to actors, to everyone involved.
The band's back together, and we're rocking. It's good. It's really good.
I'm a big loyalty guy, and I get that sense from them. They're very loyal to the people that deliver for them and work hard for them, so I respect that a lot.
Just the very fact that they open up the set to friends and family, and they're so excited. They'll play on the video playback like, hey, do you like this gag? They're so excited about what they're doing.
Awesome. It's a family atmosphere, but you know, the Manson family had a family atmosphere too. You kidding? You didn't know that?
I did. I said this was something.
It was my first night at camp.
They don't tolerate bad attitudes or egos. That was really cool to walk into. I'm in. It just puts you at ease, and it makes you really feel like you're around family or friends.
The most important thing for us is to keep the actors really loose and happy and feeling like they can take chances because they're amongst family.
I threw it, and it broke on Lori's knee.
If you have actors who are uptight or feel nervous or distressed on the set, they don't do that. They don't take those chances. That's why we go out of our way to keep the set very loose.
Good time was had. When you got a quarterback like this, all you gotta do is stick your hands in the air and catch it.
What a fantastic experience. So much fun coming back to it.